What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Double Dribble. In today's episode, I want to talk about the state of the NBA and how it, the state that it's currently in. Judging by the title, you can see that I don't think the NBA is in a great state at the moment. But before we get into the video, I just want to quickly say, if you're a fan of basketball, whether it be high school, college, or the NBA, make sure you hit the subscribe button, join the conversation. And we love interacting with you guys in the comment section, so make sure you leave those all down below. We'll be sure to respond to every single comment, so make sure you leave those comments. And make sure to hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button like I already said, and let's get right into the video. So like I said, today I want to talk about the current state of the NBA and what it's doing with these hardship contracts. They're the hardship exception that the NBA is currently put into place. So basically, I'll get into what this is. So the NBA, hardship exception states that if 4 or more players on active and inactive rosters are dealing with injuries and illness, a team can sign and substitute a player. So many of these franchises are doing with the COVID absences that last about 10 days to 2 weeks. A bunch of teams are signing free agents on these 10-day hardship exception contracts. To make sure that they have enough players to play in games, and make sure they don't have to forfeit any games or postpone any games or anything like that. So I just wanted to talk about what that exception is, that hardship contract is. I know a lot of you guys have been seeing that blah 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 has signed a 10-day hardship contract with whatever team. So that is what that is. It's basically just saying that this player is on a 10-day contract and is basically just a substitute for other players that are out on the health and safety roster, whatever the heck you want to call that whole situation. I don't think that what is going on with these hardships is very good for the NBA or is really helping the NBA out. Obviously they got to do something so they don't have to cancel games or postpone games. But I think it's just showing that the NBA is kind of in shambles right now. A lot of fans aren't watching regular season games right now because half of the players that are normally playing are currently out there on the health and safety roster list and are currently inactive. I mean, lots of teams. When you look at the Nets for the Christmas Day game, they had KD, Kyrie, James Harden was supposed to be out but got out of health and safety protocols. I think it was the day of the game or the night before Christmas Day. Giannis barely made it out in time to to play on the Christmas Day game. There's a lot of players that were out due to the health safety protocols. It's super unfortunate that a lot of stars are out. A lot of the big names and good players are currently out for all these teams, and especially on a day like Christmas Day. That's kind of a special game that not a whole lot of players really get to experience. And I know that the players that do say that it's like no other and is one of their favorite games or one of their favorite days to really play on, and a game that they look forward to. So I think it's really unfortunate that there's so many players out. I don't want to get into much of the COVID and all that stuff, but these, like I said, these 10-day hardship contracts and how they're having to substitute guys in is just kind of showing that the league is in shambles. However, I do think that they're handling it as best as they can because they don't want to have to cancel games, postpone the season, or put the season on pause. So what they're doing is kind of the only choice that they really have, but I think it's super unfortunate. So now just looking at these players that are getting these 10-day contracts, I think there's some good and there's also some bad in these contracts. I think it's good for a lot of younger players or other guys that haven't played in the NBA yet to give them a chance to experience the NBA, experience what it's like to be on an NBA team, and if they do get in, to play in an NBA game. And then again, for a lot of the veterans that are getting signed these 10-day contracts, I think it also gives them a shot to maybe try to show that they that they can still play and can still play at the NBA level, and help teams win games. So those are kind of some of the positives, just giving people giving people chances that usually wouldn't get this chance, giving younger guys more experience in the NBA that they wouldn't likely have if it weren't for these hardship contracts. But I also think that there's one really big negative with this, and just a huge underlying negative to sign these 10-day contracts. I think that that big negative is the fact that most of these teams are using this contract as basically just, like I said in the beginning, a substitute. These players that they're giving these chances to and signing to these 10-day hardship contracts. Most of the teams aren't really looking at these guys or really necessarily trying to give them a shot to see if they can play in the NBA level or play in the NBA and play at this high of a level. They're really just using it as a guy to fill a spot, so that way they have enough players to play the game and they don't have to cancel a game or forfeit a game. Most of these guys aren't gonna get full contracts or be in the NBA the rest of the year. They're just there for substitutes and to fill spots and patch holes in their roster, and just make it so that they can play these games. I think that's really unfortunate. That a lot of these guys, yes, they are getting good experience, they're getting good exposure and getting shots at the NBA, I guess you could call it. But some of them and a lot of them just really aren't legit shots or real shots, because most of the teams aren't going to look to sign them, to a full contract, or really try to keep them in the NBA the rest of the year if they do well. I think there will be some exceptions to this. There will be some players that really shine and have good showings and stick it out and maybe get a contract, or find a way to stick it out in the NBA, and whether it be parlay that 10-day into another 10-day with another team and just keep going until you can find a spot that you stick at and that you really excel at. But overall, most of these are just filler spots. They're just substitutes, making it so that way the NBA can still have their season and don't have to postpone any games. So I just want to hear from all you guys, your thoughts on these 10-day hardship contracts that everyone's getting. Just your thoughts on how it is for the guys that get these contracts, for the teams, just the NBA in general. I just want to hear from all you guys in the current state that it's in. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like on this video, share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.